What's up, y'all? Um, we're definitely here to talk about the Sixers tonight, and how this is the second game in a row that they had a monstrous failure at the end of the game, and it's like believable and unbelievable at the same time. Because if you're a real Philly fan, and if you've been a Philly fan for a while, like I've been, and some of my friends who are Philly fans as well know this, we talk about this all the time. We talk about this thing where, for some reason, our Philadelphia teams like to play up and down to the competition that's in front of them. So if we're, the underdog in a situation and we're the team that's kind of supposed to lose going up against a better team, we may not necessarily win the game, but we'll come out with this immaculate energy, and we'll come out playing like some of the best ball, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, or hockey, that we've ever played in our lives. And you're like, damn, why can't we play this way all the time? But then you look at a situation like, tonight, you're the number one seed, the series actually, but you're the number one seed. You're going against the number five seed. You literally have three all star caliber players on your team compared to them only having one. And you should dominate them, or at least you were dominating them for two games now. But your end result is a loss. You're up here, but you start sliding down here where the Hawks are. And now you've played down to your competition and you've allowed them back into the game, and they have all the momentum, and now they're making the shots, getting to the free throw line because the referees have been shit all playoffs long, not just in this series, but for the entire playoffs in every series. And the Hawks stole two games, not one, two games from you, and one on your home floor, which is shameful. That's downright shameful and disgusting that you allowed them to steal this game from you. The Sixers were 165 and 0, no losses, when leading in a game by 25 points or more. And you had this. You had it in the bag. But then let's get to the problems of the game. So, problems of the game are Ben Simmons for sure, 4 for 14 from the free throw line. And I believe he's 12 of 39 in the series alone. Can't shoot, won't shoot. And because he can't shoot, won't shoot, he has no touch. He has no feel for the ball. He has no rhythm. So when he goes to the free throw line, he shits the bed. That's his fault. Tobias. I'm not going to kill Tobias. I've seen some people killing Tobias tonight. But this is literally, the 10th game of the playoffs. And this is literally his first real bad game. He maybe probably should have done more in the last game, but I think that was Doc's fault for not, like, you run the offense. You're the coach. The offense goes the way you want it to go. So when you see Embiid not playing good, missing all his shots, you need to get the offense flowing through Tobias now, because Tobias is your other scorer. We know Ben ain't the scorer. He don't want to go to the free throw line. So he should have done that himself to get Tobias involved in the offense in the last game. But in this game, Tobias just didn't have it. This game was equivalent to what Joel's, second half was of last game. He just didn't have it. But he had it, 9 out of 10 games. And from a guy like Tobias, like, can you really ask for more? Giving you 20 points a game, about 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and he's playing solid defense. He's not like terrible. He's playing solid defense. He had a bad game tonight. That's fair. He's part of the blame too. And then Doc, I mean, I don't know what to blame of Doc. I don't. I know a lot of guys want to blame him for not changing up things when you see Lou Williams going off and not being able to figure out the pick and roll between Trey Young and I know that's a problem, but I also feel like Doc just got some bad juju. Doc just there's something that is behind the scenes that's just working against him that his teams keep having issues like this. And of course, you have to look at him because what's the constant between all those three places he's been when he lost in Orlando, when he lost in the Clippers, and you know. But I think his real big issue is the bench. The bench. This is 2 games in a row. Your starters have given you a 20-something point lead, and it's okay if because you're the bench that if you slip out 6 to 8 points, but you can't slip 10 points. You know, last game I think the lead was down to like 8 or 7 by the time the starters had to come back in. In this game, starters actually came back in with like 14 points, but the lead was up to 26. The lead was up to like 22, 24, 25, 26. And it dropped all the way down to 14 where Doc has to call timeout. Now put the starters back in. But then the problem is Tobias looked hesitant all game long. There were there were times where he was driving or he was coming off a screen or a pick and he had a chance to shoot it and decided to pass it. And I didn't understand why. So then by the time you get to the fourth quarter and the offense is stagnant, he's not taking those shots. Now he can't make anything. And then, not to really throw anything on Embiid because Embiid had a damn good game. But for my star player, for my best guy, okay? We just watched what Kevin Durant did last night, okay? James Harden was on the floor and was 1 of 10 and was just out there running just to stretch his hamstring. That's all he was there for. He wasn't even there to really play. He was just there because, hey, we just want you to run around. Okay, Kevin said, forget it. Give me the ball. I'm going to put it on me. When the game got close at the end with like 2 minutes left, Embiid had there was the one play where it was a pick and roll between Tobias and Embiid. It was the same play. It looked like the same play that they ran at the end of the game of game 4. And for whatever reason, I don't know if Embiid just didn't cut off of it or, and Tobias just assumed he would be there, but that was a turnover. And then the next play, there was a pick and roll between Embiid and Seth Curry, and Embiid's got it right there at the free throw line, and we know that's his sweet spot. He loves the free throw line jumper, and he passed it up. He pumps fakes, he drives, they cut off the hole, and he passes out to Tobias, which then Tobias drives and then passes it back to him, and Embiid's got the shot again, and then he because he saw Gallinari fall, but he took too long to get the ball to Tobias, and it was enough time for Collins to realize that Gallinari is out of place and I need to come over, and then he blocks Tobias, which then just only compounds on the fact that Tobias is already having a bad game. And then you missed the 2 free. I know it was 10 seconds left, but you can't miss them 2 free throws, my guy. Tonight was just abysmal. Normally I would be way more furious, but for some reason you could just kind of see it coming. Like once they start hitting, especially Lou. Once Lou and Seth start going back, I'm saying all right, well, it's Seth, and then it's Lou, and then it's Seth, and then it's Lou, and then Seth missed, and then I'm like, oh shit, and then Lou. I'm like, all right, and then they come back down and get another bucket, and I'm like, all right, now here's the problem. Here's where it's starting. All right, because now you were running one man offense for like 6 or 7 possessions in a row. And another thing that I heard was someone asked, why didn't Ben Simmons guard Lou Williams before Trae Young got in? Because it was Seth who was guarding him. That's a question you probably might have to ask Doc. But you could just see it starting to snowball. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. But I don't know. Like, this creates a problem for me because all this has done is shown me and is really telling me. I mean, I'm a Sixers fan. I love the Sixers, but I'm a realist. Like I'm an NBA fan who loves the Sixers. I'm not like a Sixers fan who watches the NBA. I'm an NBA fan who loves the Sixers. So what that means is I'm a realist. I can look at my team and be optimistic when I have to be, but be real when I need to be. And now is the time that I need to be real, and I don't see this team winning a championship this year. Even if they get by the Hawks. If they get by the Hawks, it looks like the Nets could possibly be in their way. And guess what? Even if it wasn't the Nets in their way, Milwaukee or Brooklyn, the way the Sixers have played in this series, if your 3 All-Stars can't stop Trae Young, their 1 All-Star, how are you going to stop Kevin Durant? Because Kevin Durant is better than Trae Young. I mean, Trae Young may be a little bit more of a matchup problem with the Sixers because of his ability to just get to the paint whenever he wants because we can't seem to stop him from blowing by people. And then he gets these fouls that are like non-existent, but like I said, the referees have been shitty all playoffs long. And then, like the play with Matisse, Trae Young has done this to them numerous times in this series alone, and you would think a guy like Matisse would pick up on that, would be a little bit smarter. To know that in this situation where we have a 2-point lead and he's dancing, the moment that Trae Young, he did a dribble set, he did like a hesitation across, and he comes in the lane and then he hits the step back to the 3-point line. That right there, as a defender, tells me he doesn't want to go to the hole because he just had his opportunity to do it and he stepped back behind the 3-point line, which means he's trying to sauce me up for a 3. If you hit me with a crossover and you start to go by me and you're inside the 3-point line, but then you cross back and step behind the 3-point line, and the shot clock is now drawing down, I know that's what you want. I've seen him do this to me before if I'm Thibault. He is at least 2 or 3 steps behind the 3-point line. Now, guess what? The way that I feel about this is, are these guys making these shots? Yes. Is he making them at a Steph Curry rating, efficiency? I don't know. I don't think so. So sometimes you got to let these guys live and die by that sword. If you want to take a 3 or 4 steps behind the 3-point line, I'm not jumping towards you. I'm not going to give you the 3 points for free. And Matisse has to know that in this crunch, this is like less than 3 minutes left in the game. Your lead is dwindling. Trae Young wants to get to the free throw line because he's not shooting the ball well. 2 games in a row, they haven't been shooting the ball well. So you cannot jump forward thinking that he doesn't want to create the contact. And you get the results that you got. He goes to the free throw line, makes all 3, And now they had the 1 point lead and the momentum. And it looked like everybody on the Sixers just got tight. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle it. And I was hoping that Embiid would be like, all right, I watched Kevin last night. I watched Kawhi the other night. Give me the ball. Everybody ISO, get out of my way. No, they're doing the pick and roll thing. Everybody's passing. No one wants to take the shot. And what I was trying to say before is, as a realist, I don't see these guys winning a championship. Not playing like this. It seems like they're still not ready. Ben Simmons is not enough help. I think Tobias will play better next game. But, I mean, if I'm Doc, I'm not playing that many guys on my bench anymore. Like, my starting lineup is going to remain Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, I guess Korkmaz, Tobias Harris, and Embiid. But then when I go to the bench, my bench is going to be Seth, it's going to be Thibault, it's going to be Shake, Tobias, and Dwight. Because your bench can't keep giving up leads like this. Now, you really don't have much. You have your defense between Dwight and Thibault. You have your offense between Harris and Curry. All right. And Shake. And Shake has to be better. Shake, he just doesn't look like himself. Like the Shake from a year and 2 years ago, like, where's that guy? We need that Shake. We need the Shake from 2 games ago. Like, he looks afraid. He looks very tentative out there. Like, he doesn't want to. It looks like he's concentrating so much on not making a mistake that he's making mistakes. Looks like the whole team is. Sixers keep having these plays where, how many times a night did you see the Sixers get a steal and then turn the ball right back over? Or the Hawks get an open shot and they miss, but then they get the offensive rebound. That's got to change. Like, you're never going to win doing that. You're never going to win games like that. And that's how you have a team that, even though they have a good bit of talent, they should be inferior to the Sixers. This is Trae Young. This is where Joel Embiid is. Those are your 2 best players of the series. That's the discrepancy. That's the difference. But the problem is Ben Simmons should be somewhere like right here. I mean, even if Trae Young with his shooting and stuff, the stuff that Ben should do, he should be equal to Trae, but he's not. He's like down here. Tobias is equal to Trae. But the problem is the rest of the team is so far down low that all these Hawks guys are above. Lou is above, and Hurt is above, and Gallinari is above, and Bogdanovich is above, and Collins is above, and Clint Capella is above. And it's just like, damn. Like, the Sixers literally only have, like, 2 guys up here, and then 1 guy down here, and the Hawks have 1 guy right here, and then the rest are right here, but then the rest of the Sixers are off the damn screen. You can't even see them. I don't know. Doc got to switch something up, Doc. I mean, it starts with you, because everything leading up to before tip-off is you. The game plan, the direction that you're giving your players, the discussion that you're giving your players, the motivation that you're giving your players, that's you, right? When the players start like they did tonight, Embiid come out 8 for 8. 8 for 8, 17 points in the first quarter. You blowing these guys out. But the problem is when I put it like this. In game 6, right, let's just hypothetically say that this shit happens again. Going into the fourth quarter, Sixers got about an 18-point lead. That 18-point lead comes down somewhere to like 12. I'm putting the entire starting unit back in. I'm not even, matter of fact, scrap what I just said. In game 6, I'm not even playing my bench. I'm not even playing my bench. Joel gonna have to play about 38 minutes. Tobias gonna have to play about 38 minutes. Shit, I would say Ben Simmons should play about 38 minutes, but you might not be able to play him 38 minutes if you can't keep him on the floor because he can't hit his free throws. Seth Curry got to play at least 30 minutes. And then I'm putting in Dwight, I'm putting in Thibault. And then, you know what? I'm not even starting Korkmaz next game. I think I'm starting Thibault. I need Thibault to. I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably saves Thibault to keep him from collecting fouls because that's going to happen. But I need 5 steals and 5 blocks. That's what I need. I need that Thibault to show up. I need that Thibault to show up. I need 5 steals, 5 blocks. Ben, there's no reason Ben shouldn't be averaging a triple-double for this series. There's no reason Ben shouldn't be averaging a triple-double for the series. Now, the only things I can think about that you could do with Ben is this. I don't know. Maybe you can keep Ben on Trae, but maybe if you start Thibault and I put Thibault on Trae, I'm putting Ben on John Collins. I'm putting Ben on John Collins. Because in that way, at least Ben will be operating defensively a little bit more towards the rim. And I think that maybe he could help out when these pick and rolls happen with Trae and Trae tries to get in and throw alleys. But Ben got to step up. I mean, not Ben, but Embiid has to step up and take himself out of position, which leaves Capella open for the dunk. I think, you get Thibault on him, and Thibault gets set with a pick wherever Collins is. Ben slides off Collins. Let Ben slide off Collins into the paint to prohibit the alley-oop from Trae Young to allow Embiid to sit back on Capella. And then, if Collins is open and Collins is going to make 7 or 8 threes in the game, then I guess you can live with that. I mean, he's not some 3-point shooter like Trae Young is, but he don't shoot them as deep as Trae Young neither. Collins will get his toes right up to the line and shoot that 3. But the nigga be banking them in, so I would force him to, because to keep Collins shooting on the outside as opposed to getting all these offensive rebounds and dunks on the inside, giving his team momentum, I mean, I don't know, you tell me. Do you think that would work? Leave him open for 3. Let him shoot those. I think he would do more damage on the inside than he will from the outside. And if you can stop that damn pick and roll between Trae, getting those easy floaters, I mean, it's like, damn, it's like he's got getting so many easy floaters. It's just like easy every single time. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points. You want this Embiid? Nope, floater. Embiid, I'm throwing. Nope, not floater. And Embiid can't do shit. He's like, Capella. Shit. I go for the block, it's an alley. If I sit back, it's a floater. There's nothing I can do. Especially with a torn meniscus. So, I don't know. The only real thing I can say is this. The Sixers need to just show up with testicular fortitude. You just got to show up and will yourselves to victory. That's it. The game is going to go the way the game's going to go. But if you don't want it up here, and in here, then you're not going to get it. Because that's the thing. As of right now, the Sixers want it up here. They want it in their minds. They want it. The Hawks want it right here. That's why they're up 3-2. Who knows? We'll see what happens for Game 6. And we'll see how that goes. And maybe I'll give you another video on that. And I wasn't even really planning on doing a video tonight. I didn't think I would have to. But when they lose and everything's just in such a disarray, and this was the only thing I could do to just get it out. Get it out in a video. Talk about it. So, I'll see y'all Game 6. All right? Holla.